Happy Mardi Gras! Hi everyone, welcome back to the Rouse and Rapport YouTube channel. I'm very excited to be in my kitchen corner today. We're gonna be cooking up a little something for what I like to call Cake Week. I'm trying to make that a regular thing on the channel. If you didn't know, it is Mardi Gras. So happy Mardi Gras to everybody. And for this month's cake, for Cake Week, I'm gonna be trying my hand at a king cake, something that I said I would like never do, because I think it's so culturally specific, especially like living here in New Orleans, and I've always been scared to try it out. But I thought, you know what, why not do it this year? So I'm giving it a go and hopefully it works out. But if it doesn't, it's cool, it's cool. I have all of my ingredients ready and I'm just gonna take y'all step by step into what I'm doing here. So hopefully, again, it turns out. Before I get started, I would just again, as always, invite you to like the video if you stay to the end and you think it's cool. Subscribe to the channel and put on that little bell so you know when we're posting new videos. Let's get started. So here we are over at the kitchen corner and I suppose I could take y'all through the ingredients that I'm gonna be using. So for the cake itself, I'm making classic cinnamon. I prefer my king cakes that way. I know there's a lot of dispute between filled versus plain, but I really love just classic cinnamon king cake. So that's what I'm going for today. And so for the actual bread, that's the thing about king cake, it's more like bready than cakey. So we are gonna be using yeast and all-purpose flour, a little bit of granulated sugar, salt, some milk. I'm gonna use buttermilk. I just think it makes it a little bit more rich. And then some eggs. And then we're gonna fill it with butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Lots and lots of cinnamon. And then for the icing, I'm just gonna do confectioner sugar, a little bit more of that buttermilk, and some vanilla. And then we'll do our Mardi Gras colored sprinkles as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm obviously gonna start with the cake mix first, like the bready mix first, because that's gonna have to rise and sit to the side while we make the other things. So yeah, let's get it going. I see that whole parade. Let me hear you, baby. So I know that some of you may be thinking, well, why did she not put her yeast in warm water first to help activate it. Well, it's fine. I know that number one, that my yeast is good, so I don't necessarily have to do that. And two, the liquids that I'm about to incorporate into that first batch of flour, I'm gonna heat them up first. So it's the warmth of those liquids is gonna help get that yeast going. So I just put that those first like 2.5 cups of flour together in with the yeast, and then just whisked it all together to make sure it's nice and incorporated through before we add those liquids. So I'm gonna heat up the milk, sugar, and salt in a small saucepan and get it up to about like 120, 130, and then add it in. That is the dough, and so that's gonna rise and chill out for about an hour. And while that is going, I'm gonna get started on the filling. I'm gonna go cinnamon nuts on this one, so just be prepared for that. Obviously, as you saw with the dough, like, it's a lot of butter. So much butter all throughout this thing, but that's what's gonna make it super, super flaky and delicious. And again, like, you may or may not have heard me say this before, but Jay, my husband, and I are what I would like to call vegan adjacent. And I just am not always down with vegan desserts. If it's like one thing that I hardly ever go for the vegan route on, it's desserts, especially when I'm making them at home. So it is what it is. Some vegan desserts are really, 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 really good, but for king cake, I'm just, now granted, I've had some pretty good vegan king cakes too, but just for this time around, I'm gonna go the full dairy route. So yeah, I'm gonna get this filling started and we'll see what this dough is doing in about an hour.
Well, I'm going to New Orleans. I want to see that Mardi Gras. Yes, I am.
I absentmindedly forgot to press record. when I was adding the other ingredients in, but again, that filling is literally just butter, cinnamon, and some brown sugar. That right there is the final product. I don't know if y'all can see that very good, but there it is. And it smells good. So that's gonna go on the inside of the king cake. And then I'm gonna attempt a little plait, a little braid in the dough once it's filled and ready. And then we're gonna ice it and sprinkle it, and that'll be that. Okay, I've got the dough all ready to go. It rose to about double the size, which is preferred. It's after we're done like rolling it out and filling it, it's gonna have to rise a little bit more, so I'm hoping it'll get a little bigger in that second process. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it out, fill it, and then attempt that little plait that I was talking about before. I am gonna roll it out to about like 10 by 20 rectangle situation. I actually have a measuring tape with me. So the 10 is about there, and then obviously 20, we double that, so about there. Long ways.
I'm gonna stand right there down on Rampart and do me. I'm gonna wait right there until I see the whole parade. Let's get on down the street.
Okay. As you can see, my plait didn't really go as planned. My filling just seized up so much. It got so hard so quick that it started to be too heavy for the dough. So when I was trying to braid it, it was just breaking up. And so my folds got all messed up, which is a real bummer. But I shaped it into an oval, and one thing is for sure, that super cinnamony thing that I was going for is going to happen because there's cinnamon all throughout this blob. So not the most traditional, but I think it's still gonna taste really good. So I'm gonna leave it for like another hour, and hopefully it rises enough, and then we're gonna put it in the oven and then ice it. I will say that this is my fatal flaw with baking. I love baking. I've been baking for a long time, and my Grammys taught me how to bake a lot of things. But especially when I'm trying new things, or like I said before in the beginning, I've never wanted to attempt a king cake for this very reason. But yeah, my fatal flaw in baking is always something starts going wrong and I panic just a little bit and then I overcorrect. So, you know, I think again it's gonna taste good, but definitely doesn't look so far the way that I want it to, but that is okay. That is okay. This is not the tent on the Great British Bake Off. This is me in my little kitchen, so it's gonna be good. Okay, it hath risen slightly. I bit. So I'm gonna put this in the oven and it's gonna cook for about like 20-30 minutes, and then we'll put on a cooling rack and then make the icing. Ta-da! It puffed up big time, okay? It's a little lumpy. It looks more like artisan loaf than king cake, but it looks delicious and it smells even better, and it's gonna eat for sure. I cannot wait. It's a little misshapen in this corner over here because it got too big for the pan, so one of the sides is kind of flat. But again, it'll look prettier when I ice it, and it's gonna eat real good. I believe that. So I'm gonna get the icing together while this cools, and then we'll wrap it all up.
Well, I'm going to New Orleans. I want to see that Mardi Gras. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm going to New Orleans.
Okay, I have the icing mostly mixed up and all lumps out, but I'm gonna do a little experiment here with this purple food gel. It's normally for like writing, but I tried it out on some sprinkles yesterday and it seemed to have dyed them like a nice kind of pale purple. So I'm gonna put this in the icing because I don't know if y'all know how hard it is to find purple sprinkles. What is the deal, especially in this city during this time of year? I got green, barely, and I got gold, barely, but I could not find purple at all. So that was annoying, but I'm gonna see how this looks in the icing. If it's terrible, then it's terrible. But you know what? I'm trying. I really truly am. So I'm gonna add this into that premixed icing next. Okay, I took the camera off the tripod and just so y'all can see a little better because you can't really tell. Gosh, you just still can't really tell all that much. But I promise you in person, it is a really, really pretty kind of like lavendery color, which I'm cool with because I'm doing this super dark green instead of a bright green. And then also this nice gold color for the other sprinkles. So I kind of like this vibe. I'm excited. Now I'm just gonna transfer the cake onto a cooling rack and let it cool a little bit more outside of the pan and then ice and decorate. Okay, there she is. I really wish that y'all could see like better how pretty this like pale purple is. There's a little baby. But I love the gold. I think it's so pretty. And lighting's not especially great right now. I don't feel like pulling out my big umbrella lights, but I am pleased with it for my first and maybe only attempt. Maybe not only, maybe before the season ends I'll try another one, but it was a little involved, but I had a lot of fun, and I think it's kind of cute and unconventional and different, and also kind of messy, but that's a little bit me too, so I cannot wait to dig into it. Let's do that. Jay's home and he's gonna try it with me. What do you think?
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's try it. Ooh.
Oh wait, I was gonna smell it. Touch it. Aeration. Alright. Taste like a pancake.
Y'all. This, can y'all even see, like, look at that. Look at that. This, definitely more spongy and bready than your traditional king cake, but the taste is pat on the back for me. Okay, y'all, that's it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you know when we're posting new videos. And happy Mardi Gras.